Now, the International Finance Corporation has collaborated with 5 renewable energy companies to expand mini-grid projects across Nigeria. The initiative, signed at the Mission 300 Africa Energy Summit in Dar es Salaam, aims to provide electricity to at least 400,000 people. The companies involved are part of the World Bank-backed Nigeria DARES program. Nigeria's Finance Minister Wale Edun praised the initiative, describing it as a significant step in tackling energy poverty. With over 85 million Nigerians without access to electricity, the project is expected to enhance the reliability of the power supply and reduce the country's dependence on petrol and diesel generators. Now, to discuss this, we are joined by Nii Dwale, an energy expert and founding partner at Dwale Ovia and Alex Adedikpe Law Firm. You're welcome. Good to have you here, sir. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
All right. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Now, so what metrics will be used to measure the success of the mini-grid initiative, as it's being called, and how will the impact on 400,000 people be expected to benefit or evaluate them? Or rather, how can it be evaluated?
Okay, so I think the first thing is that in terms of the impact, I think what I'll say to that is that the measures can be looked at from different angles, right? The first thing is that you look at the reliability of the system in terms of how frequent the outages will be based on the power that's been generated. I think another thing about that would be that in terms of the coverage areas of the what kind of population density is it? What area is it? Is it from a commercial or residential or industrial location? And I think also more importantly, from a revenue collection model, I mean, how ingenious or how optimal would that be in terms of how they look at operating costs, the ability to generate enough income to basically defray whatever debt payments the projects, and essentially also looking at how successful the mini-grid projects are in relation to the different communities that are located in. So I think for me, I mean, those are the things that I'll basically look at and say that in terms of success metrics, what can be used to, to look at it. Yeah.
Okay, and how can this initiative contribute to the sustainability of energy supply in Nigeria? That seems to be the bane of every Nigerian, especially considering the past reliance on petrol and diesel generators.
Okay, so I think that in terms of that, first thing is that you look at what exactly do we have in relation to our energy transition plan, right? There's an energy transition plan that basically is premised on providing alternatives to fossil fuel and essentially making sure that the long-term goal for the long-term goal basically is to utilize renewable energy sources. And what are these renewable energy sources? I mean, there are things like solar power, wind, hydro, and then also I think that for me, what I also look at in terms of identifying or looking at this would be that what are the reliable electricity, the impact of climate change in relation to what we are seeing. I think another thing that we should be looking at would be that in terms of the electricity that is being provided, what interconnection do they have in relation to the grid support? So for me, I would say that there are a lot of things to look at, but I think more importantly is that it would encourage the use of renewable energy and basically ensure that things are, whatever carbon issues that we have in relation to basically is reduced and then also reduce the impact of climate change. So that's how I look at it.
So do you foresee any challenges or risks at all with these mini grids?
Well, as with all things that you have, there would always be challenges, especially with a developing country such as ours. I think that the critical one might be on the basis of insecurity. Others may be on the basis of the economic issues that we have. But again, I think in the last few weeks, we're seeing that the dollar is picking up. So, the naira is picking up and the dollar is, the conversion rate is a lot better. So I think for me, in terms of the building cost of mini grids, I mean, it reduces that, and it creates or provides a shorter period in which payments can be made back to the funding sources. So essentially, the revenue streams are, I mean, if you're going to get maybe funding for maybe 5 or 10 years, basically, in terms if you have a better conversion rate in terms of what the value of our currency is, I mean, it means that the amount you probably will pay back will be paid back quicker. I mean, so for me, and maybe the last thing I also say is that in terms of funding sources, I mean, what you find is that the major challenge that we will have is in terms of security. And security meaning that security under a finance package, meaning that when you, the land that you basically utilize in terms of putting in the mini grids, I mean, basically want to perfect those things. So those are the kind of things that I see as the challenges and risks.
Not too unsurmountable. So in what ways will local communities be involved in the planning and implementation of these projects?
Okay, so the first thing is that it's important that there's a lot of community engagement. There's a lot of awareness. There's engagement. You engage with whether the community leaders, the local, or maybe I'll call the local or traditional rulers, and also in relation to ensuring that whatever land acquisition is to be utilized for the project is, I mean, there are ways that you can basically get land cheaper. So basically those things are things that need to be that shows that there has to be proper engagement between the project sponsors and financiers, as well as the local community where the mini grids will be located. And I think more importantly also, what you also find is that when you're doing projects like this, in getting the local residents to show that, oh, you know what, this thing is being done for you guys, it goes a long way in terms of ensuring that the risk that you have in terms of people vandalizing or basically doing any sort of or basically just ensuring that the projects are being protected as an
secure.
Issue.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you very much for giving us your expert advice and expert view of the instance here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you. We're on a short break now, and when we return, 17 students dead as blaze in golf school in Kora, Namoda, Zamfara State. Details of this and more after. Join us then.